Hey guys, what's up? And welcome back to NG Education YouTube channel. Today's video is the first in a series of videos about top universities for you to consider to study in 2022. And today we're starting with Oxford University. So if you're wondering about Oxford or what makes it special, keep watching. Hey guys, so if you haven't already signed up for my newsletter, you really should, because every 3 weeks I send an email with personalized suggestions for your CV, really cool events that you wouldn't otherwise find elsewhere. So do check it out, and also share a lot of tips and tricks on university admissions. Okay, so with Oxford, what makes it so special? Well, lots of people have heard of it. What actually makes it unique? Well, the number one thing that I think makes Oxford unique is the tutorial system, which is actually identical to the system in Cambridge, although they call it the supervision system. At Oxford, it's the tutorials. So basically, the way teaching is done, you have a bunch of lectures of usually of varying quality. Some lectures are much better than others. Generally speaking, humanities lectures, like for history, English, pretty useless. Most people don't even turn up or turn up to some of them. Whilst for engineering, medicine, etc., you sort of, you have to turn up, and if you're not there, you miss the stuff and you won't find it elsewhere. So you have the lectures, and then you have to do either an essay or a problem sheet, which you then have to hand in to your tutor. Now, the tutor is not necessarily a person at your college. It can be a person at the department, but who's based at another college. And you then have not one-on-one, but there are typically 2 students per one academic 2-on-1 interaction for an hour, where the tutor, if you're lucky, will mark your work in advance. Often they won't, and then will grill you on that work and give you feedback on it, and you have to defend that work. Now, that's not only for essays in humanities, where obviously there is no right or wrong, and you can sort of argue a point, but also for STEM sciences. And what I was really surprised to learn and sort of was really kind of pushed out of my comfort zone is that there is more than one way to answer a scientific problem as well. So the tutorial system is really unique. Very few other universities do this, and you have this weekly 1-on-1 or 2-on-1 rather interaction with a world expert in a field that you may be studying about, which is really, really cool. So that definitely is the number one reason why so many students are attracted to it, and what makes a lot of graduates really employable in a whole number of industries. That's because they've got this training of performing under pressure, explaining themselves under pressure, and that helps in a lot of professions. So that's the number one thing you need to know. The second thing, besides the history, the pretty buildings, the fact that Oxford is older than the Aztec Empire, all of that, is just quite a pleasant place to live. Oxford itself has several parts. It's sort of famously known as Town and Gown. Town being the non-university part, Gown, as in the academic Gown, being the university part. So there is stuff to do in Oxford. There is, you have about 150,000 people who live there. So, there is a clubbing scene, there are restaurants, cafes, a ton of museums. So it's quite a nice, pleasant place to live. You can cycle or walk everywhere. So it's really good for that as well. And I think the number three thing for me that really stood out is the caliber and just the breadth of different people that you meet as a student. I strongly believe, and I tell all of our students at NG Education, that you don't really go to university for the knowledge. Now, of course, if you want to do medicine, or you want to do engineering, or you want to be a vet, you need that knowledge, right? You can't just sort of do a YouTube course and become a doctor. But for a lot of other subjects, you can find all the materials, all the textbooks online for very cheap or free. And so what most people go to university for is not the actual knowledge, but it's the brand name and the networking and just the breadth of people that you're exposed to. And Oxford, in my opinion, is probably one of the most interesting places to be at in terms of meeting different numbers of people. Of course, there are other great UK universities. They have the breadth, but Oxford, because of the brand, just attracts very academically able and different people not just from across the UK, but from across the world. Of course, you'll have the criticism that traditionally it's more middle class people who go to to university, so you have it's not as diverse. But that's really changing, and that there has been a consistent push to change that in the last couple of years. It's definitely a lot more diverse than America because of unofficial quotas against non-US citizens, non-US green card holders. So, for example, when I spent a semester working at Harvard University, I thought the average Harvard student was less interesting, less impressive than an average Oxford student. Just a matter of opinion. Others may disagree, but in terms of the breadth of people, you really do meet some very interesting people at Oxford, and that's the main part that makes your experience. So, guys, I hope this was interesting. There is plenty of other information on Oxford online. If you're interested in applying to Oxford, whether for undergrad or masters, check out my newsletter. Check out our website. We have lots of free advice on how to apply successfully and how to get in. All the best. And if you have a question, the best way to reach me is on Twitter. So just tweet me and tag your question there. But all the best, take care, and good luck.